Everybody, welcome to the show, Bass and Bonsai. I wanted to put a quick video out just kind of showing what you can do, kind of a custom by me, myself, stipple job on a Palmetto State Armory Dagger. And instantly, right off the bat, after I got done doing this, we'll talk about several different things and how to do it, I'll explain, but it made it look like it's shorter. I can assure you it's not. They're the same compact frames, same stippled grips, and I'll show you in a second. These are empty. The firearms are empty. But they are the same length. So we'll just compare them here in a second. Let me show you. I know YouTube. Oh boy, YouTube. Oh my goodness. But we're going to talk about the difference between these, and we're also going to talk about where I'm at in my stippling process. Oh, another one with the slide on it. We better check it. So let's talk first about if you're thinking about stippling. Do I recommend it? Yeah, of course, because I'm already doing it myself. This is the Echelon. If you guys don't know about the Springfield Echelon, these are grip modules, not the license serial number and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I bought an aftermarket, or I bought one from Echelon for the Echelon from Springfield that was the same size. I did do a little sanding on the large back strap, and that's the medium frame, and stippled that myself. Very first stippling job I've ever tried. I painted, I stippled on a paint can, a couple paint cans, and then I did this one. And I don't know. It doesn't look bad then. I'm not very good at painting, and I didn't Cerakote. I just painted some sort of desert tan FDE or something. It's pretty light. But that one came out not too bad. So, my second one, I decided to try a little, I guess you would call it more advanced. It's where this stipple was basically just taking the tip and going around and dotting it, where I was raising it up, and they've got different names for it, where you drag it or where you actually raise it each time. But this was kind of just sanded down the old pattern and kind of went over it roughly where it was, went a little higher in spots, but that's about it. On the second one, after just watching around and thinking that, yeah, I agree that it's sometimes better to have spots on the gun to where you can manipulate the gun, whether it's to get a funky slide mag release, slide stop, or whatever you might need to move. And if you have too much stippling, too aggressive, and you're kind of like almost stuck to the gun. So I did the little, with the undercut, I actually added that first little for your finger under the trigger. And this is empty, remember. But so I added that just to let you, maneuver the gun a little bit, but yet when you put a full grip on it, you have it with the stippling, and it's a more aggressive pattern than that one. It doesn't probably come out in the camera, but it definitely grabs you a little more. But then I also went ahead and I sanded this off, because that's kind of I don't know, I think it's just for looks. So when you're holding the regular one, it's actually like your thumb that you would want to hit that is actually like a barricade, like a block to not let you hit it. So the way I hold on this thing, it's not going to be a hindrance. That one I could actually have an extended one. But so what I did was I took that bump completely out, that ridge completely out. So now I can actually hit that without changing my grip on this one with that. So it just, in my opinion, that's a large grip. Now my painting sucks, because the paint I used went away from it. It like chemically didn't match up with these other two colors of the FDE I was trying. So it basically bubbled. I had to scrape it all off, and I just repainted. I got frustrated, so I didn't take my time to I just slapped some paint on it and said we're just going to throw it together and run it. But so that was the second job. Let's just check the trigger while we're here. Okay, we're going to talk about triggers in a minute. But so then I finally, and the whole process of this was graduating to where if I wanted to stipple an actual firearm, that I couldn't just go get a different grip module. Which, funny story is, you can almost, for the same price of one of these, pretty much just a module without the fire control unit, I can go buy a PSA Dagger lower. If they're, as of right now, they were still on sale for $49 for several different colors and compact and the full size. But I already have this green one over here, sniper green, the FDE, and I also have 3 more of the full size FDEs coming that I got customs going if you haven't been following the channel. So when it comes to this one, and I was just going to kind of in this video, kind of a comparison on what you have. And I've seen a lot of guys stipple, and it's just my opinion and take on it I'm going to give you here. And I've seen the Dagger stippled, and if you just add these together, basically, and stipple this, and you don't do anything up here, I think this looks too like pointy, like it just sticks up, and this is all stippled, which is a good idea to add more grip. But the problem is when you do that, I just kind of, I think it looks a little off to me. So you definitely, in my opinion, you don't want to stipple way up high. You can, some people will go up into here and here, but up in here is where, in my opinion, you want to leave. Also want to leave it here pretty much from now on. I may not do it on every one I do, but after having it in hand with this one and with this one and with this one, I feel that, and you can see here, I feel that I kind of like it. I don't feel like you lose any grip, and I think you get a little better, I don't know, movement feel. So I kind of like that with the cutout, and I think it looks a little more professional, I guess, just a little cleaner, a little more. So probably in the future, I will be sticking with this. Cut here, smoothed out, but then, and these aren't professional jobs, they're just something that you guys could do it yourself. But then as far as like this, I think you can kind of go 2 ways. Like that's the most aggressive I would go. I definitely would not go any higher up into here, but I think that's too much for me. I like that. Looks really, this one probably looks better. This probably looks like a better stippled area for full maximum grip, right? Like it's everywhere your hand is pretty much at is stippled, which is good, and you could do that. I think up there maybe almost too far. That's pretty close. I think here is probably where I'll stick with. So if you wanted to do the Dagger, it was real simple on the lines for me anyway. Is I just stuck with the guidelines to here, then here I simply took a pencil and kind of drew down to this halfway and then matched it up, you know, to that halfway down here, as you can see, and then just as I dremeled it out, and I didn't get perfect. You don't have to be perfect. It's a, you know, unless you're trying to do it for somebody to make money or sell it or something like that, that would be the only, you know, just for yourself, just get close. And it just gives it a little better feel and looks, in my opinion. And then here, I basically just kind of came off this and drooped down. And here you could go either way. You could go like in the middle. You could almost go on the top of that little ridge, or if you wanted to, go over it, or you could just sand that completely off and come down and go almost right in the middle where it was, kind of thing. That would, you know, be up to you. Just a couple simple line changes, and then on the bottom, and I decided I did not even want to try to stick with these lines. And like, in my opinion, once you start adding too many lines, you're taking away areas that you could get some grip on. It's just a cosmetic for looks of a, you know, it doesn't really do anything for the... It's not beneficial, in my opinion, to have different sections of grip pads. What you end up having with, you know, like a lot of them you'll see, like even this Shadow Systems and a lot of the Glock, a lot of everything, they just have a pad here on the sides, like if it had a grip on it, and then a front serrations or something, or and then on the rear. But so I like the idea of having it all the way around. And then I decided, as you can see, this look, it's not a total blended together. If you really look, you can see where the magwell, and that's just a printed one. So it gave me an idea that I just wanted to try that. It was the first try. I could still take that off right now and you know, change some stuff up or buy another one for 25 bucks if I don't want to stipple it. I just wanted to try it, but I think I like that. So with this one, I would probably not try to blend it if I even decide to stipple this one. This is kind of like a project prior to the 3 full-size ones I've got coming, and it depends on where my hand grabs on those. But not only did it kind of change the look of it, in my opinion, it made it in there on the opposite side now. Almost made it look like it's a little shorter. But I think on the full-size ones, it's a possibility. What I'll do is I will actually take, when I put this on, I will glue it by some sort of either like make it a permanent magwell, which you can always, even though I say like a 5-minute epoxy or whatever permanent, you can still, if for some reason it were to get damaged, you will still be able to peel it off, separate it from that plastic that's on the Dagger, and put a new one on if you needed to. But to get it more where it blend in, because then I was kind of afraid to take too much material off and blend it too smooth, because I didn't want to take away too much of the, you know, sturdiness of the plastic. So I basically just sanded lightly, and then I used a soldering tip to almost kind of melt them together. And it actually went to, it looks way closer than the color it actually is. Let me try to show you. I don't know, maybe. Like when I hold that, it looks like that is a whole different color. This is the same exact color that is on that one, but it just the way it blended, and I left a little ring around at the back. It just looks, in my opinion, it came out very well. I think it would come out better if I were to take it, and maybe before I even do any sanding, if I take, I'm trying to figure out which one to hold here while I'm explaining it. Before I do any sanding, take it off, you know, or as I put it on, glue it on, and then actually use a soldering thing to melt, instead of trying to sand it smooth, match it up, try to melt it to match, and then maybe a fine sand, and then stipple it would even have a better result as far as, and then I could do the back too, which that I left it. I was thinking that it would, this would have a more defined ring. I didn't really put a border on the bottom. But like I said, it was my first actual stippling of that sort of thing, like trying to, other than the back strap on, well, either one of these two. You know, I kind of, if you really look, you can see, and I've had that one off. You can like take it off, like, so this one I could go ahead, unscrew that, take that magwell off if I wanted to. It's just held on basically by the stippling pattern as it melted. Actually, I need to go in and touch that. If you could look, that's actually me. That's my line as I was doing that shows up if you really look at it. And you can always, if you do mess up in a spot, say like that, where it stands out a lot, you can go in and after it's already done, a week later, a month later, a year later, you can just get, you know, fire up your iron and go again. So if you're wanting to do this, it's real simple. You just need a few things, and then I'm going to get out of here. But you just need a Dremel. Whatever you choose, it could be from sanding disc to these little, to get the material down real quick, you can use these like the rougher coarse ones and then go a little finer, or just leave it rough and then stipple it. But I watched a video, I forget who it was. I want to say that's the Gun Fu guy, but he did a little tutorial on putting outlines with bits like this, but I didn't have the smallest one. They make a couple smaller than this. That's why I kind of went a little rough in spots. But I used that to kind of get up along the edges and then smooth it out, and then stippled it with just this cheap Weller. It's a wood burning one, and I made, that's a tip I made. I don't know if you can. I tried the round one on the first one was just the smallest little round tip that the wood burner comes with. The second one, this was more of a drag it around, like real good. And that's one thing I felt like the Dagger is more of a graphite-y instead of plasticky material, because you kind of hear it sizzling and stuff. Like this one I felt melted, where it was more, because both of these were done with that same tip. And if you look at them, the patterns are definitely a little different. And it was just kind of how the plastic took to that iron and the way it melted. I felt like if I drug this tip around, show it again, and it's kind of oblong. It's definitely like an oddball shape for a reason. I wanted it like that, almost just so you can kind of twist it. You can change up, and I wanted to make erratic patterns. Because if you look in here, you'll see kind of squiggly, almost some dots, like it's just a very randomized, a bunch of different patterns inside of patterns, I guess. So kind of like this one. And then I added just a little bit. I did a little bit of, took it out just a hair. If you look here, it kind of goes in flush. And on this side I left alone. It kind of extends out a little bit. So I did not take much. I just ever a little bit, and then added some stippling to it. It definitely is an improvement. With here, you got to watch. You got this pin right here, and you got this right here. So if you just do this like I did, if you try to go in too much deeper, first of all, you have a chance where your thumb's just going to hit the slide in the first place. But then this, you start to feel that more. It would be ideal if this pin was further out of the way to take this up, a little more. Which just that right there, you can basically almost put the middle, just get in the habit of trying to, anywhere really, you kind of use this and let your thumb slide up, which ends up being about the middle of your thumb, catches that for an extra little purchase on it. But so anyway, this dude is pretty much done. I just got to get out there and test it out. So you guys let me know what you think. I guess you don't have to do well, I'll put it this way. Until I did this stippling job today, I thought the Dagger was fine. It didn't need anything, and this felt pretty good. And I'll be honest, it's not bad, but once I've done, like after doing this and then grabbing it, just even that is better than the smooth here. And then this grip is, oh my gosh. It is like way better. This feels better than the Echelon when you're gripping it, better than my Shadow Systems with the Hogue grip, which I like that Hogue grip, and I've stippled it myself. You can, to keep the Hogue grip from being slick. I like the feel of the Hogues, but once I decided, and I went ahead and like this, that Dagger just stippled with a good stipple job. It's like the best feeling. I'm hoping I like the big ones, the full size, as well as I do these, because as I get out of here, that's another thing. If I with the other ones, I'll probably do one for sure. If I feel like I can get a grip there like that, I'll probably go ahead and attach one. I'll try it. I'll completely glue it, and I'll probably try to melt it first into shape, but I'll try to make that a little more. I didn't want to take too much material off this one. I'll make it just to actually blend a little bit more, which that's fine. That's almost just a cosmetic thing. See how it's almost a sharper angle, but it still does about the same thing. It has some stippling on it. Like your pinky down there, the crazy amount of extra just grip that feels like it gives you with the basically a 19 size. So I'm going to get out of here, but I'll just show you. I got the colors totally off on this one when I painted this light. But this baby is about ready. Well, it's ready to go. I got to get ready to go and get up there and see what I think of that ported barrel that I've already worn it out sitting here doing like dry firing and modifying, checking stuff, fit and finish and all that stuff. But as you can see, still get the wobble and wibble. The next thing, I've already got 2 coming. I'm going to try them, maybe a few different kinds. That mag release has got to go. I cannot stand those on these daggers. I didn't really care for the one. After running the shadow systems, that thing just feels very good. It's just got, I can reach it while I'm still gripping I may have to, finagle it just a hair, but not much movement. And I can get to it real easy. The Echelon, with that stock one, I just felt like I had to turn to get my thumb up and over that hump. So I figured while I was in the process of attempting another stipple job, this time I cleaned it all out. And I wish I would have took this one. I just basically made an outline and whenever I didn't add a border. As you can see, I kind of used the existing border. Now I goofed up right there, but I did go ahead and I kind of left a border on the top side anyway, and then kind of made my own. It just definitely looks like a little cleaner overall look than just stippling. What it does, and it's almost an illusion. It doesn't really hardly change the depth. But if you just flat out grab one of these and sand it somewhat, and then just stipple it, it looks like the stipple is a grip. It looks like it's something you've added on top of your frame. All you have to do is whether you go with ones that existing or ones that are there's different etching tools. I'll try to show you 2 tools. This isn't actually for it. I think this is some kind of like for finger and toenails or something. But to make woodworking tools, there's something like this where you can go around and etch. There's videos out on that, how to add a border. But the guy I was watching was basically using this, and as he had the fine ones, and I'll try to use a smaller one to show you. But he had even like half another size of these. And what you do is you just use the big one, take off the big areas, but then as you're coming in and taking off the little areas, sanding them down, you kind of use these to almost dip in, and then you use a real fine one, the small ones, for the corners. And then I was even using this one. I got the job done. It's not the best thing. I was using this one up in the corners. So you basically almost kind of sand a little ledge into it, just a hair. And then what that does, it just gives you that illusion that the stippling is down. Like you don't really take off hardly any more material, but it almost looks like you've completely cut this out and then stippled it, and then this just looks like you added grip tape, in my opinion, so it just gives this a better look. Now I didn't add anything under here because they didn't have anything. I thought about it and I'm like, I don't know if a little bit right there, like I feel once I grab, I don't think that, like, that doesn't move anyway, in my opinion. So if anything, that would just be something to actually be an annoyance, a rub on the upper part to where I don't really grab it like that. Anytime you get something like the same thing with these, you get it up in here too much on your actual like skin and rather the pad of your hand, it can almost be more of a annoyance than it helps you. So anyway, if you have any questions, comment. Let me know what you think of this. I mean, feel free to roast me because I know that this is only the 3rd lower frame, whatever you want to call it, grip that I've stippled. I know that if I continue on very much longer, I'll probably look back at this one and go, oh my God. Because I can look at it right now if I really nitpick it, and it's not too much. The stippling is all right, except for right where I kind of was trying to blend in that. I can definitely see that I could have done better. But when you're just first looking at this thing, I mean, it looks fine, and it accomplishes the mission. I think it looks better than the stock ones right off the bat, and it definitely, you got just that much more comfort of grip feel. And it's, in my opinion, it's not too, I mean, it's aggressive. It's definitely more aggressive. You can just tell by looking at it. It's more aggressive than this pattern. It's one of those things, if you're not feeling something real slick or real, you know, tacky or aggressive feeling, then these feel okay. But then the minute you grab this, it just starts to feel slippery compared to, you know, something like this. So I'm not sure if I'll do all mine, if I'll do this one. I'm definitely going to do one of the full-size ones, and then figure out what barrel length combo and all that, trigger, everything I like the best, and build me one like my ultimate, basically a Glock 19X style. And then with these other ones, I'm not even sure where the future is on those. I'll probably do some experimenting for other different things, some content for the channel kind of thing. I'm tempted to go ahead while they're on sale and order a full size for this one. The minute you start adding comps and threaded barrels and stuff, I almost think that the full size frame was a better way to go, and then stick with some of the, you know, shorter. So this this right here is probably going to stay just the way it is. That's probably close to a completed gun. I may switch out the, well, definitely this mag release, possibly the different trigger, and red dot. I'm going to try out this top two or whatever, but yeah. But as far as, I've got the slide frame, barrel, everything seems to go together real well. I won't know until I get out and really put some rounds to it and see how well I like it and how well. But as far as fit, finish, and everything overall, right now it looks good. I need to get I've never been a fan of how some of these guns have that gap, but that's just kind of the way it is on some of these. This one looks like it might be a little more. Where am I getting that? What is showing up? What's showing up? Oh, that's the stainless guide rod just shining through there for some reason. You can see it. It just kind of looks weird. I don't know why that's not. It's stainless guide rod too. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I got to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Get out, go bass and bonsai. Get ready. When other lowers come, we're going to start doing some work. And we're going to get that 26 slide going. Oh, as I get out of here, I did, and I knew it, but then I affirmed for myself that the one hiccup with this thing working is I'm going to have to rework the, for the post, I don't even know what you want to call that, the cutout for the slide stop, because it doesn't have the same, it looks like on here it should. I'm going to have to try that again, but anyway, I'm thinking that where that is doesn't match up with the, let's try that. I thought I already tried this. Hang on. Hang on, time out. I know this video never ends, I guess. I think we're recording. I don't know. Maybe we're not.